Today I'm in Charlestown in front of the USS Constitution, the oldest commissioned warship in American history. The USS Constitution was first launched in 1797 and famously earned the nickname of Old Ironsides during the War of 1812. When cannons appeared to bounce off the sides of the ship, a crewman remarked that her sides seemed to be made of iron, when in fact they were made of American oak, which is a very strong wood that also helps to resist rot. While the ship was constructed in Massachusetts, it spent years in New York, Pennsylvania, and New Hampshire before politicians worked to bring her home to Massachusetts on her 100th birthday.
5 things you don't know about the USS Constitution. Interestingly, the copper bolts and fastenings that helped hold Constitution's hull together were forged by none other than Revolutionary War hero and Boston local, Paul Revere.
Are your thermals giving you anything?
It was announced that the ship would launch on the 20th of September, 1797. Thousands of people flocked to the harbor to watch. Only when the blocks were pulled, Constitution didn't move. In August of 1849, Constitution ported in Gaeta, Italy, where she received King Ferdinand II and Pope Pius IX on board as guests. Like a floating embassy, U.S. Navy warships retained the same legal status as American soil, which means Pius IX's visit on board Constitution was technically the first time in history that a pope set foot on U.S. sovereign territory. In 1881, Constitution was taken to Portsmouth Navy Yard and put to use as a receiving ship, and she received only minimal maintenance, basically just enough to keep her afloat. By 1900, this lack of upkeep had resulted in severe deterioration. Secretary of the Navy Charles Bonaparte suggested that instead of rehabilitating Constitution, they should tow her out to sea, use her as a target ship, and sink her. The Naval History and Heritage Command Detachment in Boston now estimates that only about 10 to 15% of the ship's timber is still the original wood that was installed between 1795 and 1797.
Constitution's story begins in strife at the birth of the Republic. President George Washington's persuasive appeals lead Congress to authorize the construction of 6 warships.
Congress had approved the measure to build or buy 6 frigates, and Secretary of War Henry Knox settled on a Pennsylvania shipbuilder named Joshua Humphreys to design the ships. It was agreed upon by both men that the nation required a specific type of ship to defend its shores.
As our Navy must for a considerable time be inferior in number, we are to consider what size ships will be most formidable and would be an overmatch for those of an enemy. Such frigates, as in blowing weather, would be an overmatch for double-deck ships, and in light winds, to evade coming to action.